Hey there, welcome to our YouTube channel. So this is the first video of our playlist Data Structure and Algorithm, and there will be few videos of C++ basics, and you can consider it as a crash course of C++. So in this videos I will explain all the basics fundamentals of C++ so that you don't face any problems in the further DSA videos. So the basics motto of this C++ video is that you refresh your concept or the beginner ones learn new things and directly goes into DSA part. Okay, so in today's video we are diving into an essential topic in C++ programming, which is syntax and basic concepts like variables, etc. We will discuss it. Don't worry, if you are new to programming, we will break it down in a fun and easy way to understand. So put on your coding hats and let's get started. Before we diving into the world of C++, let's quickly understand what it is and why it is so popular. As we all know, C++ is a powerful programming language that allows us to create amazing software and application. Think of it as a superhero with incredible superpower. But what makes C++ so popular? So there are few points which make C++ popular. So the first point is its performance. C++ allows for efficient low-level programming and direct hardware manipulation, resulting in highly optimized and fast code execution, which means that C++ is a low-level programming language and it executes very fastly as compared to other intermediate level language like Python. And the second point is portability. C++ codes can be compiled and run on various platforms, make it suitable for cross-platform development without major modification. That means if you are in your home and you write some code in C++, then you post it in GitHub, then you put it on in your GitHub account, and then you reach your office and clone that code and run on your office desktop, then it will easily run. There will be no problem in running that code. The third point is object-oriented programming. OOPS. C++ supports OOPS concepts like classes, objects, inheritance, and polymorphism, enabling code organization and reusability. So all these fancy terms you see are very important terms, and this topics deserve its own separate video. I will make its separate video. So tune in and subscribe this channel. And the fourth point is resource management. C++ provide control over memory allocation and deallocation, ensuring efficient management of system resources. That means C++ gives us the full control over our resources and we can easily manipulate our data and we can save our spaces and use it for further work. Okay, sixth point is compatibility with C. C++ is backward compatible with C, allowing developers to reuse existing C code and seamlessly integrate it into C++ projects. It means that assume if you have some code written in C, then you learn C++ from my video. Okay, so then you want to add some features in C++ so that you can use your C code here and add C++ code in it, and it will fully compatible. They don't give any errors. So this point is completed. And the seventh and last point is industry standard. C++ is widely used in industry and offers numerous job opportunities, learning resources, and community support. As we all know that C++ is a widely popular language and it has very vast support, and many software industries use it as its primary language. So that means it has many job opportunities available in market, and there are vast learning resources out available in market. You are learning C++, that means it is also a learning resource of C++, and it has good community resource, and I say that it has very big and supportive community. So that is about the introduction of C++. Now if you know any other power of C++, then you can write them in your comment, and I will respond to your comment as soon as possible. So everyone, now let's move on to the basic building block of C++, which is data type. In C++, we work with the different types to store and manipulate information. In C++, we work with different data types to store and manipulate information. Think of data type as category that define the kind of data we can work with. For example, we have int for whole number, and float for decimals, and character for individual character. To make things exciting, we have this data types. So the definition of data type is a data type specifies the type of data that a variable can store, such as integer, floating, and character. It means that let's assume x as a variable and it store a data as 40. So 40 is of type int. Okay, 40 is the integer, so it is of type int, and x is a variable. So x store the data as 40. As we see, there are various types of data, and there are and the sizes also vary according to them. For example, boolean have a size of 1 byte, and character have a size of 1 byte. Int has a size of 2 or 4 byte, it depends on the condition. Float has a size of 4 byte, and double has a size of 8 byte. And you can see that boolean stores true or false. Character stores a single character, letter, or number, or any ASCII value. What int store? Int store whole number without any decimals. And what about float? Float stores fractional number containing one or more decimals, sufficient for storing 6 to 7 decimal digit. And double. Double stores fractional number containing one or more decimals, sufficient for storing 15 decimal digits. So let's introduce each of these data types one by one. What is a boolean? A boolean in C++ is a data type that represents a true or false value. As I stated earlier, it represents only true or false. Okay, used for logical operations and decision making in programs. What it is used for? It is used for logical operation and decision making. For example, this is the common syntax of boolean. Bool is false is equals to false. This is called assignment, and here it is bool is true is equals to true. You can see that we only use this false or true. There is only two things that we use in boolean, that is false or true, or we can say that true or false. So our and next data type is character. A character in C++ is a data type that used to represent a single character. It occupies 1 byte of memory and can store character from the ASCII character set. The example of character is char letter is equals to a. That letter, which is variable, will store a in it, and char defines the data type. Okay, so here I write that assign the character a to the variable letter. So a will be assigned into the letter. Likewise, 7 will be assigned into the digit, and likewise this symbol will be assigned into this symbol variable. And how you can identify that it is a character data type? Whenever there is single quote, as you see that it have single quote. Whenever there is single quote, it will be of character data type. And our next data type is int. An int in C++ is a data type used to represent integer values, which are whole number without decimal points. Int are the numbers which is whole number. For example, 10 is of type int, 20 is of type int. Can you say 20.40 will be int or not. So 20.40 is not an int because it have decimals. Okay, so int is of type of whole number. So here are a few examples. Whenever we use this data type int, we will first write type of the data which is of type int and the variable. So here I take the variable as age, and this is the assignment, and this is the value which I want to store in the variable, which I take as 25. So 25 will be stored in the variable age. Likewise, 10 will be stored in the variable count. Likewise, -5 will be stored in the variable temperature. As you see that all these are whole numbers. Whole numbers may be positive or negative, it doesn't matter, but all these are whole numbers. And our next data type is float. The definition of float is that a float in C++ is a data type used to represent floating point number, which is a number with decimal point. This is a very important word, decimal point, and can store a wide range of values compared to the integer. And the size of the float is 4 byte as we see earlier. So if we take the example of a float, the float example will be of 20.40. This is the example of float. Can you identify is this example of float or not? 10. Is this the example of float? No, this is not the example of a float. This is of type int. 10 is of type int. So there are few examples how we can identify float. So firstly firstly write the data type which is of type float, and the variable which is of type pi, which I named as pi, and value which is of 3.14159. As you see that there is a 3 point to take as decimal point. Okay, so here it have decimal point, that means it is a float. There is another way to represent float, that is if you write f here in the last. If you write f here in the last, then it is of type float. Okay, for example, 3.59f. It is a f. This is a float. Okay, this is a floating point number. Likewise, we have 25.9 is of type float, and we store it in the variable temperature. And our next data type is double. A double is like, or we can say that same as float. A double in C++ is a data type used to represent double precision floating point number, which can store larger or more precise floating point values. Compared to float, it stores larger number and more precise numbers as compared to the float, and it have size of 8 bytes, which means it can store larger numbers. So this is the example of float. As you can see that this is quite a large number, and we can store it in pi, and we take the data type as double. Likewise, here the temperature, and this value is large, and we store it in the variable temperature, and you can see that we take the data type as double. So we finish with all our data type, and here a very exciting game came to you, and you have to write the answer in your comment. So the motto of this game is you have to guess the data type. You have to identify that what kind of data type are they. For example, a is equals to 20. You have to say what kind of data type is that. So you have to answer all that questions, and you have to write the answers in the comment section. So please write the answer in your comment section and pause that video here, and after 5 seconds started watching again. So pause it now. I hope you all write your answer, and now is the time to recheck your answer. And the first question is a is equals to 20. As you see, it is a whole number. As I said earlier, whole number identifies as int, so it is of type int. So it is of type int. If you write int, then you are 100% correct. And this is of type float because I said earlier it have f. So I earlier tell how to identify floating point number, and you also see that it have a decimal point. There are two indications that it may be float. So the correct answer of B is float. So it is of type float, and C is of type double. As you see, this number is quite large and it have a decimal point. So this is of type double, and D is of type boolean. As you see, it is of type it D have a value of true. And I stated earlier, boolean have only two type of value, which is true or false. So according to this, the answer of D will be boolean, and the answer of E will be char. As you see that it have only single character, and as I said earlier, you can identify character by watching this single quote sign. So here it have single quote, so that means it is a character data type. And the last one is, can you guess what is it? Okay, if you don't guess what is it, then I will tell you it is a string data type. It is a string data type. What is the string? String is the collection of the characters. As you see that W is a character, E is a character, L is a character, C is a character, and this is the collection of the character, and this collection of the character we called as string. And how to identify this string? As you see, it have double quote. So whenever there is double quote, that means it is a string. So if you write all the answers correctly and comment it down the comment box, then congratulations and well done everyone. You are on fire. Now let's move on our next topic, which is variable. So here we come to know what is variable. So here we are going to know what is variable. What is that? Variable is like a labeled boxes that have some labels. Okay, we can taken it as boxes that can hold different values that allow us to store information and work with it later. Imagine you have a box named score and you want to put a different number in that. But how do you use variable effectively? Did you ever think of it how you use variable effectively? As I stated here, variable are like labeled boxes that can hold different values. As you can see here, int, which is of data type we studied earlier, and a is the variable here. A is the variable and it store the data 10, which is of type int. So here a is the variable. So I have a very exciting task for you. If you know the basics of programming in C++, you can easily do this very simple programming, which is calculate the average of five number. Here are the five number. You have to calculate the average of them. If you don't know the formula of average, you have to just add all this five number and divide it with the number which is 5. So you have to sum all this five number and divide it the number 5, and the answer will be there. This is the formula and you have to do this simple task. So let's hurry up and do this task. Pause this video here and try to solve this task in your own. Now if you don't understand how to solve this task. So here I am demonstrating you how to solve this. So firstly, I am going to the VS Code, and I will provide all the codes into the GitHub, and I will add the link of the GitHub in the description of this video. So you can watch it and star the repo. So here I have to write the basics header, which is hash include and bits slash std c++.h. It include all the libraries, and you don't have to include every single library one by one. And the next line will be using namespace std. Okay, int main return 0. This is the boilerplate. You can see that this is the boilerplate, and you have to write it every time. Every single time you have to write it for running any C++ code. You can remember it or write it anywhere. This is very important boilerplate code. You have to write every time. You have to learn this. Okay, now I have the question, which is, if you don't know about commenting, here this two slashes is will work as comment. So here I write the question, which is calculate the average of 5 number. So this is the problem I have to solve, and we have to use variable here. So this is the problem I have to solve, and we have to use the concept of variable here. So firstly, I will take all the number, which is 23, 34, 54, 12 and 34. So I will store all this number, and as we see that all these are whole number, and for whole number I will take the data type as int, and I will take the variable name as num1 is equals to 23. Likewise, int num2 is equals to 34. Int num3 is equals to 54. Int num4 is equals to 12. Int num5 is equals to 34. So here, with the use of variables, I take all the 5 number, and I have take another variable which is of type int, and the variable name will be sum, and here I will take the sum of all this 5 number. So how I do the sum of all this 5 number? I have to use the plus operator, and we will learn what is operator in few minutes later. So here I have taken the variable name sum, and I will use the assignment operator, and I have to write all this variable name with plus operator, which you can see that I have to write like this: num1 plus num2 plus num3 plus num4 plus num5. So there are total 5 number. I have to add all of them. So I add all of them, and my next task is to divide the sum with the number 5. So to find out average may be of type double or float, because by dividing with the number 5, it may came into fractions or may have decimal point in it. So I will take the data type as double, and I will take the variable name as average, and it's a very important one. I want to convert this sum into, as you see that sum is of type int, but I want to convert int into double because assigning int into double will not work and it gives an error. So I have to convert sum into double. So I have to write double into the parenthesis, and outside the parenthesis I have to write sum and divide by 5. As you all know, for output I have to write cout and a variable name which is average, and then endl for ending the line. And now I am running the code. As you see, the answer is 31.4. You can calculate it on your own and see the answer. So as of now we all know about the data types, and our next topic is constant. So as we all know, variable can change their values, but sometimes we need information that remains constant throughout our program. That's where constant come into action. Constants are like unchangeable facts that stay the same. For example, the distance of Earth from the Sun will remain constant throughout our life, so that value is constant. So this is the basic example of constant. Now I write the definition of constant as constant are like unchangeable fact that stays the same. In the programming term, I give an example. Here is the example. For declaring constant, I have to always write before data type, I have to always write const that indicate that this variable is constant and it will not change in future. So the value of x I declared as 40. So if I wants to change the value of x into 60, it is not possible to change. If I declared it as 40, it will remains as 40 throughout the program. Our next section is a task called, or we can say that it's a game called Constant Conundrum. So in this game, what I will give you, so in this game, I will give you a task. So the task is you have to calculate the area of a circle. Here is the catch is that you have to write a program to calculate the area of a circle, and you have all this task you have to perform. So make your checklist. So in your first task you have to declare a constant for pi. If you don't know the value of pi, so the value of pi is 22 by 7, or in the decimal term it is 3.141 something something something. So this is the value of pi. First task is declare a constant for pi. So you have to declare a constant by using a const keyword as we see. And the second task is to declare a variable for the radius. As you all know, the formula for area of circle is pi r square. This is the basic formula as you all learn in your elementary classes. So you have to declare a variable as we need the radius. So you have to declare a variable named radius as you have to need it. And the third task is assign value to the radius. And your third task is to assign the value to the radius through the input by using the keyword CIN, known as console input. And your fourth task is calculate the area using the formula pi r square. as I already demonstrated. Now your last task is display the result. You have all this set of tasks you have to do. I know it's a basic problem, and I guess almost everyone can solve this. Now pause this video here and try to solve it on yourself. And if you're comfortable, you can share your code in your comment section, in the comment section. So pause this video here and try to do it on yourself. I guess that you all have tried to solve it on yourself. Now, if you don't get it, how you can do it? So let's continue to the video. Here, it's our first program which is calculate the average of 5 numbers, and our second program will be here. I have to comment this program. So for commenting this, I will select and select all the lines I have to comment, and I will press Control plus backslash, and it will do the work. So our second program is calculate the area of a circle. So this is the name of our second program. So as you see, the first task is declare a constant for pi. So I have to declare a constant for pi. So I will use the keyword const, and then, as you all know, pi is a very large number and it have decimal on it, so I will use the data type double, and I will give the variable name as pi, and the value of pi will be 3.14159 and something something. So I will take 3.14159, and our second task is declare a variable for the radius. I have to take a variable for the radius. So as you all know, radius can be in the form of floating point number, so I will take double and radius is radius. Here I take the variable, and here I will print a statement cout. As I already stated earlier, this double quote means it's a string. So inside this double quote, whatever I write, it will give the exact output. So if I write enter the radius of a circle, so whenever I run the program, it will give the exact output stated as enter the radius of a circle. So I have to take the radius. So for taking the radius, I will use sin. As you all know, sin is used for taking input, and cout is used for giving output. So I used sin so that computer take input from me. So here I have to give the variable name. So the variable name is radius, and here we have done till here. Assign the value to the radius, and our next task is calculate the area using the formula pi r square. So I have to now calculate the area. So let's see how you can calculate the area. For calculating the area, I will first take the data type as double, and the variable will be area, as the formula stated as pi radius. R square means radius, and then again multiply, and then radius. Here it will calculate and put the answer into the area variable. Here I have to print the output. So for printing the output, I will use the cout statement, and Inside the string I will write the area of the circle semicolon, and then I will put the variable name, which is area, and then endl means end of the line. So let's see if this program runs or not. So here you see the same statement stated here. So I have to write the radius of the circle. If I take radius as 5, then the area of the circle is 78.5397. You can calculate it yourself using the formula pi r square. So this is the end of our second task. I think you all are enjoying this video. As we see that we have we gain the knowledge about constant, and the next topic we want to learn is operators. So what is operators? Now we learn about operators. So a question which may arise in your mind is that what is operators? So we said that we know how to store and manipulate data using variable. Now let's see what is operator. As you know how to store and manipulate data using variable, let's talk about operator. Operator are special symbols that allows us to perform different operation on our data. They are like magical tools that help us to add, subtract, compare, and do many other things. But some operators can be tricky. So here I take the definition of operator as operators special symbols that allow us to perform different operation on our data. They are likely some magical tools that help us to add, subtract, compare, and do many other things. So basically here are few types of operator, which is arithmetic operator, increment or decrement operator, assignment operator, relational operator, and logical operator. So what is assignment operator? Assignment operators are like plus, minus, multiply, divide, and modulo. And what is increment and decrement plus? So whenever you see plus plus, that means you increment a value by 1. So here if you have a variable which have value 1 and you use increment plus plus, then the value will be increment into 2. Likewise, we have minus minus, which means you have a value 1 and we use the operator minus minus. So the value will be decreased into 0. Plus plus increase the value by 1 and minus minus decrease the value by 1. Likewise, we have assignment operator, as assignment operators are like equal to, plus equal to, minus equal to, multiply equal to, divide equal to, and modulo equal to. What all this means? For example, you have a number a which have value 10. So if I write a and then plus is equals to 5, then this will update the value of a, and our value of a will be 15. That means 5 will be added into the value of a, which is 10. 10 plus 5 is equals to 15. Likewise, we have this minus is equals to, if I take minus here, if I write minus here, then the value would be 5. Likewise, I have multiply here. If I take multiply here, then that would be 50. Likewise, I have divide here. If I take divide here, let me erase this, and if I take divide here, then that would be 2. The answer would be 2. Let me erase this. The answer would be 2. As you all know, 10 divided by 5 would be 2. So the value of a will be 2. And as we see this modulo operator, so what is the use of this modular operator? For example, you use this modulo operator. For example, I use this modulo operator. So what this means, so it will divide 10 by 5. So here it is 10 and here it is 5. So as you all know, 5 2s are 10. So it will divide, and if you subtract 10 minus 10, the remainder will be 0. So it will output 0. Likewise, if you have a as 9, let's take a as 9, and if you perform this modulo operation again, so 5 will be divided 9 will be divided from 5. So 5 ones are 5 and the remainder is 4. So here 4 will be a remainder. So the answer is a is equals to 4. So the answer will be 4. Likewise, we have relational operator, which is equal to this operators for checking. For example, if you have a red color ball and if you want to check is my ball color is red. If it's red, then the output would be true. If it's not red, then the output would be false. And the other relational operator is not is equals to. Likewise, it will compare between the two value, and if they're not equal, then it would return true. If I can say that if the ball color is not red, then in that case it will return true, and if the ball color is red, then it would return false. Here I have write a lot, so it need to be erased. So firstly I will erase this and discuss all the letter concepts. Likewise, we have less than operator, greater than is equals to, less than is equal to. All these are for comparison. Basically relation operator are for comparison. Compare. So relational operator are for comparison between two things. Okay, so relational operator are for comparison between two things, and the last is logical operator. It will check for logic, and or not. This is and, this is or, and this is not. So let's continue to our next section, which is operators Olympic. So it is also a task you have to complete it. So I give you a problem which is calculate the sum of two numbers. So this is the basic problem. Calculate the sum of two number, as it will uses the operator. Can you comment out which type of operator is this? Is this a relational operator or logical operator, or what type of operator is this? You have to comment it on the comment section. So go and comment down below. So here you have few tasks. So the task is you have to write a code using the plus operator, and then you have to declare two variable for the number, and the third task is assign value to the variable. Fourth task is calculate the sum using plus operator, and the last task is display the result. So let's go and complete all this task one by one. So here we have come to the VS Code, and for we have to comment this so that it doesn't return. So I have to press Control and then plus backslash, so it will done its work very sincerely. Now we have to write our third program, which is the third program is calculate the sum of two number. So our third program is calculate the sum of two number. So here I have to take two variable, which is num1. First I have to write data type and then num1 and then num2. After that I have to print a statement which is enter the first number After that, I have to use sin for taking the number, and then I have to print enter the second number. Then I have to use send to take the second number. So I have to add this to number. So for adding this to number, I have to take a variable and sum is equals to num1 plus num2. So I have add all this number and the take the result into the sum variable. So I have to print this output, print the output. So for printing the output, I will write cout, and in the string I will write the sum of two number s, and I have to write the variable in which the answer is stored, sum, and endl for ending the line. So here I have write our program. So now I am running this program. As you see, enter the first number. I will take the first number as 4 and I will take the second number as 6. So here the sum of the two numbers is 10. Congratulations, we have done a very difficult program. I guess no one can done this program themselves. So let's continue to the further part, which is input and output. As you all see, thousands of time for input I have to take sin, for output I have to take cout. So let's see in details what is input and output. So programming is all about interacting with the user and getting information, as we all know. So how do you do that? That's where input and output comes in. Let's make it interesting by creating a mini console game together called. So you have a quest. So we have to make a mini console game. So in this console game, your task is to guess the number. Okay, so the task is to write the code to take input from the user and check if it matches the target or not. So that's the task we have to do. Roadmaps we have to follow to reach our goals. So what are the subtasks? So first task is generate a random target number, prompt the user to enter a guess, take input from the user, check if number matches the target number, and then display the result. So you have to do all this task to successfully making this game. Here in this game, the user have to input a number. For example, if the user choose 15 and the user have to choose the number between 0 to 99, and if this number 15 matches with the random number that is generated by the computer, then you win. If not, then you will lose. You have to play it again. So let's continue and make this game successfully. Here I have to comment this third program also. And our fourth program is guess the number. In the first line, I will write s rand time 0. As you may confuse us, what this lines do? What this line do is it seed the random number generator with current time. Means, for example, you run the program and it takes the output as 17. So in the next time when you rerun this program, it will change its guess and it will take another number. It will take 19. And if you do not use this statement, it will again give the output as 17. We will also check without this statement what will be the answer. So what this program do is to change number on change number every time we run the program. And I have to make a number which will be the guess. So for making that I have to take a variable target, and for creating a random number there is a function known as rand. So for choosing a random number I have to use a function rand, and for making sure that the rand is between 0 and 99 I have to take modulo of rand. For example, it gives any number. For example, it takes any number 1, 2, 3, 4. If you take modulo of this number, then it will give the output as, then the answer would be 34. So that is the basic function of modulo, and we take its advantage here. So what is the function of target? It will make sure that it generate a number, a random number between 0 and 99, and I have to make another variable which is guess, which will given by the user, and I have to print a statement guess the number between 0 and 99. So this prompt eh, will be seen by the user, and the user will select a number between 0 and 99. And here we will use the conditions, and in the next video I will teach you what is conditional statement and how to use all this statement. If you know a little about C++, then I guess you know this conditional statements. So I will check if the user input number which I stored in guess. Here I forgot to take the number, and here I will check if the user input number guess is equals to the random number which is generated by the computer target. If both are same, as here we have used the comparison, as I said earlier, this double equal to will check if this number is equal or not. So if guess and target both are equal, then I will give output as congratulations. Congratulations, you guessed the correct number. Else, if that doesn't happen, if guess not is equals to target, then I will print cout sorry, your guess is incorrect. The target number is target, and here I will use the handle, and I also use handle here. So let's run this program and see. First of all, let me clear this terminal, and now again I will rerun this, and here you see that the prompt asks me to guess the number between 0 and 99. If I write 70 here, then it states that sorry, your guess number is incorrect. The target number is 82. My bad luck. Again I will play this game, and here I will write 90, and again it states as sorry, your guess is incorrect. The target number is 50. As you see, first the target number was 80 and then the target number was 50. But if I comment out this, as I said, this is due to this line that the target number changes continuously on every run. So if I comment it out and then again I run this, so if I write 12, okay, so the target number is 41, then again I will rerun. I guess you first of all, let me clear this terminal, and again if I rerun this program and choose 41, as you see, congratulations, you guess the correct number. If you remember, earlier the number was also 41. So let me again rerun this, and if I write 41 again, the number doesn't change because I comment out this. The number is doesn't change, it remains 41. So again if I uncomment this, let me rerun this again, and if I write 12 here, see here the target was changed to 35. So that's the beauty of this line. This line helps to generate every random number whenever you rerun this program. So that's all for this video. So congratulations everyone. You have mastered the basic syntax and concept of C++ programming. Give yourself a round of applause. You deserve it. Remember, practice is key to becoming a proficient programmer. So keep coding and exploring new possibilities. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe this channel and share this as much as possible. And please revisit for upgrading your skills. Thank you.